Good morning, good morning. I'm seeing people joining. I see that the camera is a bit crooked, so I'm going to briefly fix that. Hopefully it's going to be a bit better now. Yes, much better. Good. So I hope that you can see me. I hope that everything is working fine. If I could get some confirmation, that would be great. So if anyone could confirm that things are
Yeah, everything
indeed
is
working.
alright. I can see and hear you well.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. So, just as usual, I'm going to be sharing the YouTube link. Once again, this is entirely optional. This is purely if you want a more higher quality stream, if you want to see the video, if you want to see everything in a better detail. So, I'm going to be waiting just a bit for everyone to arrive. In the meantime, just as a quick question, how was Easter? What did you do? How did the break, if you can even call it a break, went? How are you feeling? I got some students concerning that there were no class this morning because things felt a bit too Eastery still, if I can say that. So, yes, there is a class, absolutely, as you're already aware of that. So, how was Easter? Just as a brief question, because I still see that a lot of people have not arrived yet. We still only have 16 people here instead of the almost double this number that actually should be. So, how was it? Let's just try to have a bit of a conversation, a bit of a normalcy. See.
Very boring.
Well, I heard someone talk, but the connection was so bad that I couldn't make out what happened.
Very boring.
Very empowering.
Boring.
Boring. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we are going to be in for some boring times over the next couple of weeks, so better try to settle in for the long haul. Let me get my stream away from here a bit. I could attend a live stream on YouTube from church back home. Nice. That sounds awesome. I actually heard that many churches took their Easter prayers and Easter services online, including some of the largest churches here in Hungary. So I got some good feedback about that from some of my friends who actually went to some of these. These things are awesome. Like, I genuinely think that one of the things that you should be trying to use this quarantine for and try to do during these times is to try to bring back a sense of normalcy to your life. Try to find things that, it's going to sound silly for some people, that is a bit normal. Like, just try to get to as close to normal as you possibly can be. Try to create a schedule for yourself. Try to actually stick to a routine, because these things are going to be helping a ton to keep your mental health okay during these times, because I do understand that being practically locked up for long periods of time for many people can be something that's really hard on them. And obviously, there are a couple people that for whom this social distancing is basically what they've been doing for the last 20 something years, and now this is just socially acceptable to do so. So for them, this is going to be a bit easier. But I see many of my friends deeply struggling regarding these elements. So I would just like to reach out for a second, that if you have any problems, if you feeling like something is a bit too much, or things are getting overwhelming regarding school, feel free to talk to me. I would be happy to help. I understand that this is a really, really hard situation. One of the big reasons that I'm holding the class like this is so we can have this sense of normalcy that I was discussing, that we are having class on a given time and you're able to interact. So I would just recommend trying to use that. We just recommend trying to engage with these possibilities overall. Anything else that anyone would like to share? I've been doing these in the last couple of classes that I've had, and overall I think they went over okay. When we just spend a couple minutes in the beginning of the class just acclimating, just trying to get a small bit of discussion going about how things are going. Anything from anyone? everyone's sleep cycle has changed from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's weird. Yeah, absolutely. Sleep cycles have been all over the way. Even just the last couple of days, my sleep cycle started to get screwed a bit. So I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep right now during these classes. Couldn't really fall asleep, and I was just thrashing around because my body just wasn't ready to go to sleep. So I absolutely can attest to sleep cycles being really,
Đây,
really weird during these times.
yeah.
Someone was saying something,
Đang
but once again, the connection is
ngại ngu
incredibly bad.
quá. Thế đang nói chuyện linh tinh thôi chứ chưa vào bài giảng đâu.
I'm not sure that we are the actual recipients for these messages right now, because I think someone is speaking in Vietnamese and not in English. So I would assume that these are not for us overall. Good. So if there's nothing else, if nobody else would like to share anything, then I would like to move on to today's class and what we're going to be talking about today. So today, when it comes to strategic communication, we once again going to have a separated class overall. Polly in the meantime saying, I'm actually getting a lot more sleep. Yes, absolutely. I'm also getting more sleep. Unfortunately, today I had to wake up because my original sleep cycle, if I could just set it for myself, I usually go to sleep around 2, 3 a.m. and wake up around 10, 11-ish. And obviously today that was not an option. And because of last week's Easter break, and because I haven't had to wake up either yesterday or on Friday, my body just naturally started to go into this. So overall, I'm also getting a decent quality of sleep, but today was rough. But tomorrow, once again, I'm going to be sleeping in a bit, so it's going to all equal out overall. So today we once again going to have the split class that we had last week. Basically, for the first class, we're going to go through two key things. We're going to be finishing up copywriting. We're going to be finishing up how to create effective ads that we started. And then also, by popular demand, if I can say so, we are going to be going through how to create the pre-campaign form. And during the second class, we are going to be having the calls with the groups once again. I'm going to be linking the order. I've already created the order for the groups overall. So this is going to be the order that I'm going to be calling people on. I have some groups where the discussions are going to be really short because some groups gave me detailed instructions and detailed information about how things are going, what they are currently working on, and how these different things have been working for them. And in the meantime, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be moving over to what you should be doing in the next week. Good. So let us really quickly, I like that the studio, the gym, the classroom, and the bar are all in the same room right now. Absolutely, absolutely. May I just move the camera for a tiny bit? That's my bike over there, so I absolutely understand and can actually understand that situation. I've been doing most of my working out within this room as well, and some running in the basement on my treadmill. So yes, I absolutely do understand this element of everything being in one room. So for me as well. Also, my office is in the same room as everything else. So yes, things are indeed going interestingly when it comes to this. All right, so let us break down really quickly what we've been talking about during the previous class regarding copywriting and how these different things work. So copywriting, if you don't remember, is the basic idea of creating marketing text, marketing messages that actually sell things. And there was one thing that we focused on, one type of copywriting, and that was direct response copy. So direct response copy, if you don't remember, is basically copywriting for platforms and for things where the users have a direct way to interact with the ad, to interact with the actual materials. So we discussed that initially these were actually for mail order catalogs where people just sent out catalogs full of products, and then people could actually purchase directly from there. And the reason that we're talking about this is because AdWords is basically going to be the same. you have your website where the user can directly respond back, directly get back to you and try to purchase your products. So this is the reason that we talked about direct response copywriting. And when it comes to direct response copy, there was one key tenet that we were talking about. What is the first and most important tenet of direct response copy and writing good direct response copy? Who remembers? It's 3 short words. What should you be doing as a successful or an efficient actual direct response copywriter? Absolutely, from V, we already have the correct answer. It is beating the control. Absolutely, you need to beat the control. So what does that mean? Beating the control, if you have forgot since last week, means that you create a control ad. That is going to be your baseline that you are going to be actually measuring things to. So you start to see how your ad is performing, how many clicks it's getting, what is the click-through rate, how many people are converting, what's the value of their conversion, and you start to try to gain more and more information regarding this ad. And then you take this and then you try to improve upon the ad by creating additional marketing messages, additional ads, additional copy. So you rewrite the headline here, you mention different things in the body of the text there, you add a bit of different extensions to your site and other elements for the campaign, and you try to tweak things around so the campaign performs better. And once it does, if you create a new ad that is more efficient and works better overall, that means that you take that as the new control. So then that is going to be a baseline, and then you try to improve upon that in the next iterations. And as successful marketers, beating the control is going to be your key element. And this can happen from different ways. One of them is going to be directly copywriting, meaning you write a new ad and you write another one and another one and another one, and you try to learn what works, what doesn't work for that industry, for that target audience, for the site itself, and then you experiment with things. But also you can beat the control by targeting your audience better, understanding who your audience is and trying to reach them more efficiently. The more efficiently you can reach people, the better off you're going to be by actually getting to them. This is another thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do besides copywriting and actually trying to target your audience better is going to be to improve your product, to improve the landing page itself, if you're in control of the entire sales funnel. Here's the point where I would like to mention to you that the things that we've been talking about so far start to come together as we are taking things down into this really, really practical element. You might remember the sales funnel that we talked about back when we had regular classes in classrooms. And the reason that we talked about the sales funnel is so you understand how people go through an actual process of buying something. And if you can leverage that in your copywriting, if you can make sure that you know which part of the chain you're targeting, who are the people that you're trying to reach, then you're going to be much better off. For example, there are things that we're going to be talking about a bit later called remarketing. Remarketing is when Google tries to target the ad to people that have already visited the site, maybe already put something into their basket, but they're abandoned their basket in the store, and they can get completely different messages. For example, if you're a shoe store, you might be selling your shoes as the best leather shoes for men, dress shoe sizes 38 to 46, Italian quality leather, something like this. But if somebody already went to your site, already put something in their basket, and they just haven't finished the transaction, then you might not need to tell them that we have the finest Italian leather, that these are male dress shoes, and the size of them, because the person already knows this information. So you might target them with something like, we have a new sale going on with 20% off for every customer, or we have free shipping for every product over 15,000. And the reason for that is because that person is going to be in a completely different phase of their customer journey. And the better you can target them throughout their customer journey, both on AdWords, on the website, and throughout the entire process, the more control you're going to have over that customer and their purchasing power and their purchasing ability. So this is where and this is when, even though we're talking about AdWords, I would like you to start putting these puzzle pieces together. Start remembering things that we talked about last year in Strategic Communication 2 when we did the website design. Start thinking about the complete sales funnel and not just AdWords. But as of now, let us get back to AdWords and quality copywriting. So let's talk a bit about how to write, how to create an efficient and effective ad. And most ads, especially when it comes to AdWords, has two key parts: the headline and the body of the text. And then we have the extensions, which is going to be a category onto itself. So let us first talk about the headline. How do you write an efficient headline? So an efficient headline, something that grabs people's attention, is something that first and foremost matches user intent. So what is user intent? User intent is what the user wants to get out from that search query. So when they search for something on Google, you need to figure out what their user intent is going to be when someone actually searches for these. And in many cases, user intent is relatively easy to decipher. If somebody searches for example, running shoes, then they are most likely want to know more about running shoes and purchase running shoes. But these can be a bit more nuanced. For example, if you have a search query, best running shoes 2020, what is the user intent there? What would be the perfect actual result for that person? If you were searching for the term best running shoes 2020, what would you like to see? Reviews, Ibrahim.
Also, Nike's awesome running shoes that is banned from marathons.
Dogan said that he would like to read about the banned running shoe that's banned from several marathons, the newest trend for running shoes, the new most advanced running shoes. Absolutely. So the key thing is, and this is where people start to trip up when it comes to user intent. Many people, and if you Google these things, you're going to find examples of this. Many advertisers, when somebody actually searches for things like best running shoes, best TVs, best CRM softwares, anything like that, they're simply trying to sell their thing. For example, you might have a running shoe store, and if somebody searches for best running shoes, your ad text might read something like running shoes for Adidas, Nike, and Asics. Great prices, free shipping, yada, yada, yada. This is not what the user was looking for. The user was looking for information specifically about which is the best shoe. So if in your ad, you can give, for example, as Rahid said, for example, a review about this, or mention things like, hey, this is the banned running shoe that was so good that it was banned from several marathons, and then on that page have a link to that product, then you can convert them much better. Overall, there's almost a twofold increase in conversions, not just clicks, conversions, meaning people that purchase the product, if you match the user intent better. So you can double your revenue by understanding user intent better. So if you see that there's a big category in people searching for the best running shoes and not just simply running shoes, then you might be better off spending a couple hours, 3-4 hours, crafting a really nice article, a really nice blog post, comparing the newest shoes that you have, their pros and cons, how they work, what price point they are at, and then going with that, and then getting the actual people from clicking through this review to the actual product and then purchasing it. You're going to be doing much better. Why? Because you are matching user intent. One of the biggest problems that people who are not really familiar with Google Ads and then trying to create their ads for the first time have is that they are not matching user intent. This is most commonly seen where people simply create one big giant ad group and then put every keyword that they have into their ad group, and then nonsensical and things that don't really fit that actual search query show up in the ad text. So people in this situation are not really going to be clicking. So matching user intent is going to be one of the key things for you. What else do you need to do in the headline? What else you need to do is you are going to need to grab the audience's attention based on what they are looking for. The headline, well, you're going to have some constraints because you're going to have a limited number of characters in the headline, should be swift, quick, should be short, and should be attention-grabbing related to user intent. I would like to show you two headlines from different websites, one of which I've actually shown you last year. And these are going to be landing page headlines, but the same exact thing applies to Google Ads as well. This is QuickSprout. QuickSprout is basically a service that allows you to get more detailed information about your online business, what you can do to actually improve it. And this is their entire landing page. This is their entire headline. Grow your business faster. Why is this great? It's great because it matches user intent perfectly. Someone who is going to be navigating to this site either through searches, directly, getting it from recommendations, seeing it in social media, are going to be small and medium business owners who want to do exactly this. They want to grow their business. And that one word at the end, faster, gives a brilliant little addition to this. Because it's not simply grow your business, duh, that's what I want to do, grow your business faster. Why is this great? Almost every single business person wants to actually keep growing. And they are constantly looking for things to accelerate this process. If they can find something that they can actually do to quicken this process, actually try to grow quicker, they are going to be paying and engaging with almost anything that can give it to them. If you're on YouTube or if you are on social media, I can almost guarantee that you have seen ads from people that are trying to sell you different personal development courses. For example, Tai Lopez and his knowledge. In Hungarian, we also have several people that are selling you how to create businesses that are automatic, how did I become a millionaire, and things like that. Why? Because that is something that many people actually engage with. These things might not be for you, but for many other people are going to be incredibly engaging because it's something that they want, it's something that they want to engage with, and if you can give them content, if you can give them information that they actually would like to do, they are going to be engaging with that material in a really, really great rate. So let me show you a different actual headline, and this is from, you might remember, this is from Duolingo. And I still absolutely love this landing page and this headline. Learn a language for free forever. In one short, concise line, it tells you exactly what you can do with the site, what you can actually hope from the site, and it gives a great message. You can do something for free forever. These are keywords and key elements that what we call engagement words or magic words, if you want to listen to some more hyped, let's just say, marketers. I don't like the word magic words. I usually call them just call to engagement or engaging words. The idea with these is these are words that trigger something in people. For example, the word free almost instantly triggers a reaction in most people. The word cheap also does that, although to a different extent. Because if something is cheap, then it gives you kind of the heebie-jeebies. You're going to feel like, why is this so cheap? Why is this the cheapest option? Something might be wrong with them. So cheap is not always the best actual element here. But free is almost always an amazing word to use if you can do that. Free shipping, learn a language for free, download and play for free when it comes to mobile apps and mobile games. Why does free work so well? Free works so well because it limits the barrier that people have to engage with your product. Basically, free gives them the option of, what can I lose if I actually check this out? It's free. And because you don't have to pay, because you don't have to engage with the pricing option right in the beginning, you can much more easily be sucked in. This is exactly why mobile gaming is where it currently is. Free to play, free to download. Why? Well, if the app is free, I just downloaded it, I didn't have to pay for anything, I didn't have to think about anything, and then I start playing the game. And then I'm kind of having fun, it's pretty decent, but I'm starting to run into different walls, I'm starting to run into different things where I might want to pay for a bit of in-game, in-actual gold. Watch this video ads to get 5 gems, absolutely, this is one of the ways that they monetize. Free trial can be a turnoff. How so? Free trials in most situations are incredibly effective. Can you give me an example, or can you give me a personal story when free trials, in your opinion, Polly, can be a turnoff?
Okay, to me, obviously it's my experience that free trial means that you will absolutely be charged later and not necessarily notified of it ahead of time. So to me, free trial means that it's gonna be free for a while, but we're going to ask for your credit card number and all the details, and then charge you when the free trial is over, and not necessarily tell you that you will be charged. So to me, free trial means that kind of business strategy.
Absolutely. This is a key thing. Don't try to actually hoodwink, don't try to deceive your customers, because that is going to be, Polly, I'm going to mute you because we just had some voice coming from your speakers. So basically, this is something that many people actually fall into, where they just subscribe for a free trial of something and they just keep going, and then they just accidentally purchase a month or 2 months or 3 months worth of materials. Annette already said that it happened to her last month, and this is a really, really common thing. And it's so common that in many cases, people are banking directly on this idea that you get a free trial, you start to like the product, and then you're going to stay. And scummier companies are doing this in a way that you try the free trial, we hope that you forget to cancel, and then you are going to be charged for an insane amount of money. I actually had one case where what happened was, the whole thing said that it's a free trial for 14 days, and in the smallest of the small print, it actually said that to engage with this free trial for 14 days, you're going to be charged for an entire year's worth of subscriptions. And luckily, I was able to reverse the charges because fuck that company. But if you deal with free trials in a way that they are clear and transparent, then these things are going to be really efficient. For example, there are companies that actually are doing refunds on even subscriptions. So the idea is that if after 14 days you're charged and then you haven't even engaged with the product, you haven't used it at all, you can get a refund if you refund it in the first 2 or 3 days, because they want to limit this exactly I think a lot of companies rely on you for getting the subscription and charge you afterwards. Absolutely, that is part of the business model. This is what we call the laziness tax. And this is something that works incredibly well. That they just think and hope that you forget some of these things, and they just keep charging you for products and services that you actually don't do that. Happened with an app and charged for 1 year if you were an hour late. Yes, that's scummy, and I'm never advocating for scummy business behaviors. But if you engage with the customer well and you give them clear notice, you have a good refund policy, and you don't try to scam them and work properly, then free trials can be a valuable part of this. For example, I had several free trials when I received several emails of, your free trial is expiring in a week, your free trial is actually expiring in 3 days, expiring tomorrow, make sure that you cancel, and then only after that they have charged me. But the key thing is that you need to look at both sides of this issue. And the big question is, when it comes to this, are you going to be winning or losing more in the long term? For example, companies that offer, for example, refunds on accidental actual subscriptions are losing money on one end when it comes to these subscriptions. On the other hand, they are winning back customer trust, and they are generating positive buzz around the company because they act transparently. On the other side, if a company is trying to be scummy, if they're trying to be charging you for products and services that you don't need, and they're just hoping that you are going to forget this, then they are basically banking on the idea that they are going to be living off of people's laziness. One of the best examples of this, because a huge business, believe it or not, back when we didn't even have smartphones, where you could subscribe to a service with your mobile phone, which would send you new actual call notes and notification sounds every week for an inordinate amount of price. Basically, it was a weekly price system, and it was thousands of forints even back then, and they were just hoping that people don't notice. And then the product was absolute shit, and the free trial was purely so they can rope people in and try to rob them blind. And I would not advocate for that in any sense of the word. I'm just saying that free trials can be an efficient way to rope people in if you deal with them properly. We discussed this already previously, for example, how Spotify and many other services use student discounts. Why does Spotify have a student discount? The reason for that is because they understand that students in many cases have less money, so even that $2, $3, $4 a month that they can get from them is going to be more than zero. They don't really cost too much for a company anyway. And then, because you've been using Spotify for the $2, $3, $4 mark for a year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on when you actually sign up for that and how long your enrollment in different schools last. After that, when you move out, you're just used to having Spotify. You're just used to having Spotify Premium, listening to music on it, how it works, and then you're just going to keep paying for it. So these things can work well once again. But let us move on now to the second part of the ad, and that is going to be what we call the body of the ad. I got stuck with Apple products this way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Apple and other companies like that do this beautifully. I'm also basically stuck with Apple exactly this way. And at this point I have dozens of apps and years worth of things that I wouldn't be able to move out from, so I'm basically locked in unless I'm willing to make a major sacrifice when it comes to my ads and different things that I'm using and that I have paid for already. So yes, absolutely, these are things that are actually working. Yes?
Can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
So there's an app on Apple Store, it's a game, and it's a really nice game, like, but at first it's free, and you play and like you achieve some levels, and then after a while the game stops because it wants you to pay, like it wants you to buy the whole game, and you can continue to completing other levels. And but like they don't charge you, or once you get to that level right away, like you have to pay yourself, and I think like that's better than just charging people right away before they know.
So this is what we call a demo. So demo is when you give out a small part, a small bit of your product for free for people to test them out. Demos were mostly used with softwares and games where you give out a small portion. This is how the game looks, this is how the game feels. If you enjoy this, you can purchase this. And demos were hugely influential and still influential today, and many games do exactly this. They give you the first 10 levels for free, you enjoy the first 10 levels, then you move in. I've had several games where I just got hooked on the demo and then I purchased it and they became some of my favorite games later down the line. So absolutely, demos can also work incredibly well. Really good, thank you for that addition. So let us move on to the body, let us move on over to the body of the text, how the body of the ads should be built. So the headline's main idea is to grab the attention of the person reading that page, to make them stop, make them think about this, and just read and engage with it. And then the body is going to be the longer form element where you can basically showcase the product, showcase why they should be buying from you, give some USPs out, and just describe and detail the product and the offering and tailor it to the user intent. And once again, this is the key reason why I started with user intent. You cannot forget about user intent when it comes to the body of the ad as well. In the body, you still need to target what the user actually wants. When it comes to best running shoes, your body also has to be tailored to this search query. For example, when it comes to best running shoes, your body might be saying reviews of over 25 of the best shoes from 7 different brands on our page. Why? Because this actually shows the person that what they're going to be clicking on, what they're going to be engaging with, is going to have to do something with what they are searching for. So following user intent is going to be critically important here as well. What else can you do? One of the easiest and simplest ways to write and create efficient and good ads is to look at the organic results part of the page. See what headlines, what bodies made it into the top ranking slots for organic results. Or conversely, you can also just look at what ads are currently running for that keyword, running for that actual part, and not necessarily copy directly them, but use them as an inspiration in your actual element. Why? Because we know that an ad that places well or an organic result that works well is already going to be a good control. Why? Because they have proven that they are quality enough to rise to the top overall. So if you take those as your control, you can use them to start building upon it. And this is an idea that I especially like in 2 situations. 1, when you're not too experienced with copywriting, and 2, when you're moving into a new industry. Whenever I get a client that is from an industry where I haven't really worked previously and I don't really know how it works, one of the first things that I always do is I go through the competitors, I go through their organic results, the ads that they are showing, and how they are actually performing. And based on that, I start to see that, okay, when it comes to this industry, I'm going to use this kind of language. You might remember back last year when in the actual web design process, we did the landing page copying, where you took a good quality landing page that worked well and you tried to copy it down as best as possible. This is once again going to be one of the best ways to get started in copywriting as well. Try to find copy that works and then try to not necessarily copy it directly, but actually try to use it as building blocks for your ads directly. Because if you see what works, if you have a good control, then you can iterate on them much better. And basically, instead of creating something that's really bad and then iterating your way further up slowly, You can already start with something that's pretty good, and then you can tailor that and change it slightly so you can actually engage with this better. What else? There is an age-old saying when it comes to copywriting, and it is the KISS method. KISS stands for keep it simple, stupid. And the idea behind this is that most people and most ads and most industries, people like simplicity. People like when they can understand clearly and almost instantaneously what the whole thing is about. You don't need to throw in dozens of different technical words that people don't really understand. You don't need to focus on that. You need to keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple for people. Because if you don't, then you're going to be losing out on a lot of people. And the simpler you can keep things, the better off you're going to be. For example, one of the things that you needed to realize was that most people, when they are searching on Google, when they are searching for things, they are giving, in most cases, incredibly generic keywords. And in many cases, they are misspelling different things. But back when Google wasn't automatically adding any misspellings of your keyword to the keyword list, you had to manually add the common misspellings into your keyword list. And back then, I distinctly remember I was doing ads for a mobile site, and I was having iPhones misspelled 10 different ways, Nokia's misspelled 15 different ways, and I had to add them manually. So you need to think about how simply most users want to engage with these elements. So, as to give a brief conclusion, in the headline, keep user intent in mind and try to grab the audience's attention. Possibly try to do this with something clear and engaging to them. Try to use words, try to use things that entice people to actually click. In the body, once again, try to keep user intent in mind. Keep things simple. Describe what they can expect from the site itself. Try to use tried and tested copy if you can for your initial control. So, what I would like to do before we move over and see how these things actually work in ads directly, I would like to do a bit of a quick example. I'm going to give a couple minutes to the class, and I would like everyone to try to come up with an ad for Corvinus University. Something that you would be showing in Google Ads for people interested in the university or interested in higher learning. So for example, if someone searches for universities in Hungary, how would you advertise to them? So give me a short, quick headline and then give me the body, which should be a bit longer and a bit more descriptive. Think about what the user might want, think about what might be important for the user, and try to come up with some examples. I'm going to be giving roughly 5 minutes for the class to try to come up with some good examples. And then we're going to go through some of these and then break them down. So you have 5 minutes. Feel free to try to come up with some ideas. In the meantime, I'm just going to sit down for a second. So far, I'm not seeing any results, any answers. I'm not sure if you're still thinking or we're just having a lack of actual responses here. Once again, I'm expecting answers from everyone. So this is not really an optional, please do it if you're interested in it. This is something that I'm expecting everyone to try to come up with something. So please try to figure something out. You got a first one, really good. I'm going to be reading it off a bit later once we see everyone else's coming in. Okay, let's look through some of these answers. I hope more will come in because we still only have 2, 4, 6, 8 people overall, and we have 29 people on the call currently, so 20 people have not responded yet to this overall. I'm going to be giving a minute or two more for the rest of the group to try to come up with something. Now you actually have some ideas on your own that you see from your fellow classmates, but I'm still waiting for more than 20 people to actually get some responses.
Can I ask something off topic?
Absolutely, go ahead.
For the second part of our class, for the meetings, would it be possible if our group went first because I have a dentist appointment?
Absolutely, not a problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'll be calling you first then. Okay, so we saw some really good answers overall, and hopefully some more will arrive while we go through the current ones that we already are seeing, and I'm hoping that the rest of the class is actually awake. I have heard through some elements that there are people that just turn on the actual Teams chat, go for an hour and a half and just do something else while Teams is completely muted, and then at around 9:30 they just go back and type their name, which is entirely up to them, but let us look through the ads. So we're going to be starting from the beginning, so if you have answered at the end, it's going to take a tiny bit to get there, but let us break some things down. So the first one, start your dream career today, or top-notch education promises to make your dream come true. Really, really good start. Really, really nice one. Why? What is the user intent? The user doesn't care about the university. The user doesn't care about professors, doesn't care about anything. What they care about is they want to have a safe future. They want to have a good career. They want to have their dream careers. And the idea is that Corvinus or any other university is going to help them to achieve that. And then in the body of the text, absolutely, top-notch education promises to make your dream come true. Absolutely. So it gives the user back the actual response what they want. Corvinus University Budapest, best higher education in Hungary. We provide high-value, internationally recognized diplomas that give you marketable and competitive knowledge. Browse through your courses and apply now. Really good. The headline could be changed a bit to match the user intent better, but the body is really nice. We provide high-value, internationally recognized diplomas, give you marketable and competitive knowledge. Really, really good. Why? One, it talks about things that the user, the customer wants. Internationally recognized diploma, marketable skills, competitive advantage. Instead of knowledge, I would use advantage there and a competitive advantage. It gives you the edge that you need to actually get your best job. So the headline I would tweak a bit, but the body is really, really nice. It uses great words. It's simple to understand, easy to understand. Looking for one of the best universities in Hungary, here is one of the best in Europe. This is a really, really good idea. This is something that I really like. And that is that looking for the best university in Hungary, this is not just the best in Hungary, this is one of the best in Europe as well. That is a really, really great thing. That is what we call stacking value. In this situation, you offer more to the user than what they were actually looking for, so they are more likely to click. Really, really good. Lead your way. Whether you're looking into knowledge, improve your communication skills, or getting your degree, Corvinus University is the place where your success journey starts. Lead your way is a great, great headline. I really, really like that. This is something that could be actually used in an ad. I really like that. I really enjoy that. Whether you're looking into knowledge, improving communication skills, or getting your degree, of course, is the best place to be. The body in this situation, I would tweak a bit into actually getting into things that you use once. Improving communication skills is going to be a good thing. I would definitely engage with that, but the rest is a bit bland overall. People don't care about getting the degree. People, unless it's a really, really shitty university where people go to purely to get a piece of paper and not actually get an education. Those two things are unfortunately getting more and more different as time moves on. So try to match the user intent a bit better. Study at the country's most renowned university, apply now. This is a great call out. This is a great element of the most renowned university. People like words like this. However, what you should be doing is you should be trying to engage with the user more. Does the user care about the university itself? No, it cares what the university can give to them. Corvinus University of Budapest, leading university in Hungary in the fields of business, economics, social sciences and international relations. Build your future career now. Good idea, but here's where typical problems start to rise. Best in Hungary in business, social science, international relations. This should be 3 entirely separate ads. This should be one ad for business, one ad for social sciences, one ad for international relations. Why? Someone that's interested in business doesn't care that social sciences is also well taught at the university. So focus on what the audience actually wants. Focus what the user actually wants. Simply having the name of the university in the headline is going to be important to a certain degree because it actually gives the user information about what university we're talking about, but I would try to give something a bit more punchy as the headline. Your future waits for you. Let's achieve your goals together with Europe's best professors. Really, really good. So here we're talking about, once again, the idea of what the school can do for you. Nobody cares about the professors themselves. What they care about is that these professors can help them to achieve the goals that you actually have. Your future waits for you is a good headline, although it is really interesting how it is worded because it feels a bit passive. It could be something like, do something for your future, take a step towards your future, and try to engage actively instead of passively with the actual readers. Corvinus University, get your business or social science degree in the heart of Europe, where your degree is internationally acknowledged and recognized as the best in Hungary. Once again, what I would recommend is trying to break these things different parts down. Business and social science, internationally acknowledged and recognized, once again is really good. But again, add something to the user. Add something that benefits them. So what we're missing here is the benefit. The effect is that this is the best university of Hungary, but the benefit for the user is that they are going to get a better job. They are going to be employed at a better percentage. They are going to be. This is something that I saw in actual ads from a couple of universities overall. The COVID-19 crisis, that we are teaching and giving you pandemic-proof skills. And I just love that ad in the current climate. Basically the idea was that here's this whole horrible, shitty situation where millions of people are unemployed and people are just out on the street. We're going to give you an education that's pandemic-proof. That even if something like this happens again, you're once again going to be safe. You're going to be fine. You won't have any problems. Corvinus, top-notch and high-quality higher education, just faster. Ooh, the just faster part is really interesting. I would elaborate on that a tiny bit more, in what case it is faster than something else. Start your career with us. We provide you the best education for your professional life. Really simple, really nice and simple. I like it a lot. Gives a clear benefit. Start your career now. Maybe add, once again, a bit of an additional. Start your dream career. Start your best career. Start the career that you will love at Corvinus. Corvinus, start your future today. Really nice headline. I'm enjoying that. Let me just scroll down to the bottom. Oh, we still see a couple people showing ads. Good. I'm going to scroll back and go through the rest of them. Why did this jump around? Okay. Quality education tailored to today's world at one of the most prestigious universities of Hungary, Corvinus University. Really good. Simple, straightforward, and actually gives a clear idea. Once again, I would add some form of a benefit, but I really like that. Tailored to today's world. I really like that. Why? It signals to the user, it signals to the actual reader that this is a place where you can get an education that's tailored to what they're going to see in real life. That it's not something that they're going to teach from 15-year-old books. It's going to be actually applicable to real life. Whoa, for some reason, okay, sorry about that, Teams is being stupid, but I'm trying to fix that. Corvinus University, Budapest, Hungary. Get closer to your dream job by graduating from one of the top-ranked universities around the world with specialization in multiple degrees. Really good, we have the benefit right there. Get closer to your dream job by graduating from this university. Really, really good element over there. Specialization in multiple degrees, once again, tailor it directly to the user that we have. Corvinus University Budapest, your best experience in Hungary. This is something that I was really interested not to see because it's really, really frequently seen in university ads. And the idea is in focusing in student life, in making connections, in making it into an experience. University, especially university marketing, is more and more becoming something not necessarily about education, but about the experience itself. Yes, you're going to get a diploma. Yes, you're going to get a good job. Awesome. Every university tries to campaign with that. However, what you can actually add to this is that the student life on campus, the experience, the building itself, the facilities that you're going to have access to. And more universities are focusing on this in their actual element, in their actual marketing messages. Corvinus University of Budapest, choose your desired programs and be one of us diverse English programs. Be one of us is really good if you can give them an actual idea why someone would like to become one of them, or, and what does it mean to be some of them. Harvard, Yale, and other Ivy League universities and top universities absolutely use their name of, just come to Harvard, you're going to be a Harvard graduate, you're going to be one of us. The university itself, the name itself is going to give you something. At small universities, if you give some more information about this, in what it means to be someone from Corvinus, that can be a great thing. This is something that I would use, not necessarily in a Google ad, but on a landing page, on a pamphlet for students, where I have a bit of a more time to elaborate on the idea of what it is mean to be a Corvinus student. And if you can ever evoke good feelings in students and what it means to be a Corvinus student, then you can use that incredibly effectively. Why? Because that's going to signal to the user, that's going to signal to the reader that this is a university that will allow me to be myself and be someone that I want to be at this place, at this university. Your future deserves the best, so start it at the best. Really nice, really interesting headline. I love it a ton. Talking about what the user wants a great future, and really nicely ties it back to how the university can help with that. Start at the best. If you want to be the best, still learn at the best university. Really nice, really simple. Corvinus, your bridge to the word. Really nice, absolutely evoking nice feelings of actually bridging you over to something, bridging you over into your future. I really like this as the headline. The best research university, sorry, words is once again screwing up. The best research university in Hungary, Corvinus University in Budapest, is a research-based university in the heart of Europe with many international students coming from all over the world. Business, economics, social science. Start your academic life here. So this is, once again, I told this already, separated into different categories. And this is a great ad if you're looking for students that are interested in academics. And as much as I'm an academic myself, and as much as I went through my 8 years of education and going into the next couple of decades in academia, this is only going to be related to a small portion of the student base. And they are going to be the students that are interested in academia directly. I'm not going to be saying anything negative about this, but most students don't care about academia. Most students don't care about research when they come to Corvinus, when they come to a business school. They care about the fact that they're going to get a good job. And if you target with this ad the percentage of people that actually are interested in academia, are interested in these elements, then this ad can be incredibly nice and effective. European quality in the heart of Hungary. Nice, easy, simple headline. I would like some bit of more of an explanation in the body about the benefits. International, professional, prestigious Corvinus. Really, really good headline. I really, really like this headline. Key words, attention-grabbing elements, and then attaching Corvinus right at the end. I really, really like this. This could be a headline that I could be seeing in an actual ad about Corvinus. You always wanted to be a part of a prestigious community. Are you interested in studying at one of Europe's best universities? Would you like to meet international students? The answer is Corvinus. Asking questions in the ad, either in the headline or in the body, is a great way to try to get people to actually engage with you. If they are asking the same questions that you are posing in the ad, if it's something that's in their mind already and you can give them an answer for that, that can be a great way to actually get started with this. For example, One of the things that I saw as an example, which was above and beyond CTRs and different things, this was a case study that I loved. It was for male pattern baldness. So many males are going to become partially or fully bald because of testosterone levels. Not going to go into that any more than that. And the ad was simply for keywords like male balding, hair loss, and things like that. And you know what the headline was? Worried about being bald. That was the entire headline. And it was amazing. Why? Because that's the exact question that people were asking in their minds. Oh my God, I'm going bald. Oh my God, what should I do? What is going to happen? That is the exact question that's running through their minds. And that headline is going to instantly grab them. And then if they can give their answers, like, if you're worried about that, here's the answer for that, they are going to guarantee click. They brought in almost 4 times the CTR of their next best performing ad with this. So questions are a great idea. Corvinus University, the cradle of talent. Really, really nice. Once again, this is purely just a headline. I would elaborate in the body of the text a bit more about this. But the idea of Corvinus can help you cultivate what's inside you. Corvinus can help you to become the person that you want to become is a great idea. And we have 2 more in the end. As I'm reading this to you off, I would like you to just basically give your comments in relation to what we discussed, any questions about this, because we went through a lot of things here. So if anything that's not clear, anything that's actually you would like to add, feel free to add in as we go through these last 2. So Corvinus University of Budapest, Europe's leading research and highest standard university with courses that will pave your way to the best of what you can be. Secure your future now. I love that second part. Pave your way to the best of what you can be. Really, really well worded element. This is something that can help you become the best that you can be. And once again, think in the mindset that you had or that students have, your high school students just finishing up, that they want to go to university. You want to become the best you can possibly be. You want to get the best education that you possibly can to secure your future. Really, really nice. I really like that second half. And finally, Corvinus, your way to employment. Really simple. Absolutely simple. I would maybe say that if you're trying to advertise Corvinus or any other university that tries to actually go into a good quality education, then simply saying your way to employment is underselling the university. Like someone that goes to Corvinus, someone that applies to universities like this, usually their key thing is not that I'm going to be employed. That's usually not the goal that most people have when they try to choose a university. People want to not just be employed, they want to find a job that they enjoy. They want to find a job that's high paying, that's secure, that fits the talents that they have. So it's a bit underselling this element by only saying that your way to employment. Because that's what most people think is the baseline. Like, yeah, if I went to university, any university, I should be able to find employment overall. So the reason that I wanted to do this small experiment is because just by seeing these examples, just by seeing what you come up with, we can actually see how things work much more in actual practice. Instead of explaining things theoretically, I always am a firm believer of it's much better to actually see the results, to actually see how these things work. Any questions, anything that you'd like to add to this, anything that you'd like to comment on, something that's not clear? Where everything is clear, everything is fine, you have nothing to add to the actual things that we have discussed here. So apparently there is nothing. I'm going to be still waiting if someone comments anything about this. However, now I would like to spend just a tiny bit of time going through and going on about the actual pre-campaign form, because many students have asked me about it. So I'm going to be first putting up the ad grants reporting guidelines up on the screen, and then I'm going to be explaining things and how to do these things one by one. So if you are not familiar with this, if you don't remember or haven't checked it out yet, this is where you can actually see and you can find the reporting guidelines. So if you go over to the actual Online Marketing Challenge site, you can find the information about this under the Instructions tab, and within Instructions you have the reporting guidelines. So we have Instructions and then Reporting Guidelines. And there you're going to have your pre-campaign marketing strategy. So this is something that you need to fill out before you start the campaign, before you start actually creating ads for the client. Most of these you can fill out without even contacting the client. Some of these you're going to be able to fill out once you talked with the client, you had the initial meeting, and some of them you're going to be able to get from the actual Google Ads profile that they are sharing with you. So let's go through these elements. Non-profit overview, organization name, website, cause, location, organization size, years in business, products or services, and mission. So the first couple, organization name, website, causes, location, you can absolutely fill out by yourself. Organization size, years in business, products and services, these are going to be something that you're most likely going to have to ask the company directly. This is something that you should be setting up from the first meeting. And then you have the mission. This is something that I recommend going through their site and trying to figure out by yourself, and then asking about it in the initial meeting overall. Market and target analysis, create an actual relevant target audience group who might be interested in the product or service. This is something that you can do in several steps. One, you can look at their site and see the results right there. If it's a local business, if they are targeting a certain city, if they are targeting a certain community, then that is going to be their key target audience. If they are targeting people with a certain disability or with a certain interest, then that is going to be their main target. So first, look through their site to try to figure out this part. Then go over with this in the actual meeting with the client, and then finally look into their analytics or Google Ads accounts and try to confirm what you saw right there. Current marketing overview, current and potential market reach, marketing budget, website overview, online and offline marketing, fundraising evaluation, and an overview and tracking methods. Let's break this down step by step. So current and potential market reach. This is going to be what you are going to be seeing in their Google Ads profile. Their current market reach with Google Ads is going to be the number of people that they have reached in the last 30 days. The potential reach with AdWords is going to be done through the Keyword Planner. Remember, 2 classes ago we talked about the Keyword Planner and how there you can try to find new keywords and see how different keywords are performing. So they're currently only getting 500 impressions a month, but you create a keyword list that has about 10,000 hits a month. That means that you can increase your potential reach to 10,000. Website overview. Really simple. This is one of the reasons why we actually did last year first. Go through their website, try to figure out how it could be improved based on the things that we talked about last year. Current online and offline marketing. This is something that you can only get from them in the initial meeting. Simply ask them what kind of online and offline marketing tools you're currently using to promote your business, to promote your services. Fundraising evaluation, if they are doing fundraising, ask them about figures and okay, so where are you getting most of your donations from? Are you getting it from businesses? Are you getting it from individuals? Are you getting it online on your website or directly in person? How are you getting money? Overview of current goal tracking methods. This is basically going to be how are you tracking the actual results that you have? Do you have an Excel sheet? Are you only running Google Ads? Are you not tracking at all? In many cases, one of the problems that these companies have is they have no real way to track how things are going. And this is going to be one of the things that you can help them with in helping them understand conversions much better. Marketing goals. What do they want to actually achieve? This is going to be one of the key questions in the initial meeting. Proposed online marketing strategy. This is going to be something that you are going to be creating based on everything that you learned about so far. This is going to be based on their website. This is going to be based on the initial meeting. This is going to be based on how they answer the questions in the initial meeting. You're going to have to give them a strategy in how they could be more efficient in their marketing practices. Really important. This is not just AdWords. You might tell them that, hey, AdWords is a great tool, however, you should be doing social media, you should be doing corporate events, you should be trying to get sponsors from different places. So this is going to be a comprehensive marketing strategy for them in what they might be doing. They might create a YouTube channel. They might create an Instagram page. You can include everything in here, not just simply AdWords. And then absolutely don't forget to touch base on website improvements. Remember, in Google Ads, the quality of the landing page is going to be one of the metrics that you're going to be based upon. So it's going to be important for you to actually look at the website as well. Google current state of AdGrants accounts and Google Ads goals. These are going to be from the actual ads page that you linked together. Here's where I would like to explain something once again, because that was not clear for most people, and several groups have struggled with this. In the initial email that you have received from Google, you have got a customer ID from the group. In Google Ads, in your manager account, you can actually add in new users. Let me go back to my manager page. In the manager page, under accounts, if you go into the accounts element, you have this plus button. You go over to link existing account, you click link existing account, and then you copy in the customer ID that you got from Google. The 10-digit number that you have up here at the top, in the top right corner, is something that you need to send to the client, telling them that, hey, you're going to be receiving, or you have received an invitation to access your page from this number. They don't need to add this number. You're going to do the linking, not them. You're just telling them that, hey, we are adding you. Don't worry, it's us. This is the number that you're going to be getting it from. So you need to do the linking yourself. You got a question? Do you have to go through all the marketing strategies in the proposed online marketing strategy part? You have to go through what is going to be applicable for them. So if you say that if Facebook or Instagram is not relevant for them, then you can leave them out. If you see that, hey, this company is doing amazingly well in search engine optimization, they are showing up in the first page in almost every keyword that is relevant for them, then you don't really need to give more information on that. If you see that the website is done professionally, it loads fast, it works well on all devices, then you don't need to detail that as well. So you only need to detail things where you think they can have a chance to do better. So that is going to be what you're going to need to detail there. In the meantime, let me run back to the previous campaign. Then you have the ads goals. This is going to be from the Google Ads accounts. I'm going to be showing you how to get information on this in a second. And then your strategy. What is going to be the key things that you're going to be adding? What is going to be the things that you're going to be improving upon? You're going to be writing new ads, creating new keyword lists, give them the new copy, give them the keyword list, and try to explain how these things are going to be working better. For example, remember our key mantra, beating the control. Your strategy is going to be creating copy that is going to be performing better than our current control and iterating throughout the weeks by new ads and adding new keywords. Also, a big problem that many companies have with their AdWords accounts is that they do not match user intent properly. So you are going to need to actually make sure that everything actually works properly, matches user intent. And then you need to give a timeline in how things are going to go. This is going to be simply a brief week-by-week breakdown. First week, you'll be creating your first ad copies and keyword lists. Next week, you're going to be reporting and evaluating how things are working and creating new ads and new copy for this. And then after that, you're going to be debriefing the client and creating the post-campaign form. And at the bottom of this, you have the pre-campaign marketing strategy template. And I would like to show you how to fill this out. Everything that's within this template is going to be what we talked about right now, but I just want to show you how this looks, because this is going to be the next step for almost every group, because I think only one group has done the actual strategy so far. So this is a template. You can create your own. You don't need to use this, but this is something that gives you a framework regarding this. So simple information. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I cannot really zoom in. So organization name, website, cause, location, size, years in business, products or services, and mission. And then an image, graph, or logo overall. So this is going to be the first thing here. You basically see information right here, and this is something that you should be removed from here by deleting it simply. This is giving you information about what should be on this actual page, what should be on this element. So if you forget something or something is not clear, look up here, and this is going to give you information about this. Second one, target audience. Where is their target audience? What they are trying to target? What is the location? What is the place that they actually trying to engage with? Showcase the percentages of their audience, who they are trying to target, who they are trying to get their information from. In Google Ads, if you start to scroll down a bit on the page, you're going to see information about the demographics. You're going to be seeing information about genders as well. So you can have a gender breakdown, you can have an age breakdown, and you can have a gender and age breakdown. So once again, overview page on the Google Ads, and you scroll down and you see the demographics information right here. So you can just get the information into this element. Interests, other elements, this is something that you can get from the website or from the client directly. Who are the customers? Who's interested in this actual page? Current marketing. This is where you need to detail what they are currently doing. This should simply be a quick listicle breakdown of they have a website that they frequently update, they're writing a blog, and they are active on Facebook. They also are running Google Ads through the Ad Grants program. They do not have any other online marketing that they are currently engaging in. Done. This is all you need to do in this part, and then you need to have the fundraising evaluation in the bottom, how much money that they are making. Obviously only if this is applicable. Then comes the marketing goals. This should be the idea of what they want to do. I already know several groups that have detailed in their emails to me what the company wants and what their key goals are. These groups can literally just copy that part of the email into these boxes and then rename them whatever they want to. You don't have to keep these tokens here. You don't need to keep these colors. This is a template. You can change things around, but this is where you can fit the goals. If the company only have 2 goals, delete the bottom 2. You don't need to figure out 4 if the company doesn't have 4 goals. Account performance. This is going to come from the actual Google Ads account. So let us go through these things. So let's start with the right side, image or graph. What I would recommend is to simply give the actual image that you see right here set for the last 30 days. Usually Google Ads and the ads campaign likes to work with the last 30 days. So set things up in here to the last 30 days and then take this as the information in the right side and apply this graph. Next one, let's go through them one by one. Impressions, clicks, click-through rate, conversions on desktop and mobile. How can you find this information? You scroll down onto devices, and at the devices element you're going to be seeing different breakdowns. For example, impressions are coming basically 78% from mobile phones, 4% from tablets, 17.5% from mobile, and 0% from TV. Well, we have 3 TV screen impressions overall. So you can also see the numbers if you hover over them, both for mobiles, tablets, and other elements, conversions, impressions, and clicks. So you have impressions, clicks, and conversions. How do you get to click-through rates? You click on any of these 3 elements here. I click on conversions, and you go over to CTR, which is going to be the click-through rate. So if you click on it, you see that the click-through rate is 1.1% on mobile, 0.8% on tablets, 0.76% on computers, and 0% on TVs. So you can fill all this information out, and Google Analytics information, if available, you can also fill out. If you didn't get access to their Google Analytics, you can leave this empty. The next one, proposed AdWords strategies. Fairly straightforward. What is going to be the strategies that you're going to be employing? This is going to be semi-similar for most groups. You're going to be creating new ad copy, create a new keyword list, segment the ad groups better to show ads that relate to the audience. The next one is going to be the core performance metrics to track. This is going to be the idea of what are you going to track? Are you going to be trying to get more traffic to the site? Are you going to try to get more conversions, more funds to the company? Are you going to try to improve on the actual current results? So maybe currently you're getting a 5% click-through rate and you want to increase it to 8% by the time you're done. So how are you going to measure that your campaign worked well? For some groups, they simply want to have more visits to the website. For some groups, they might want to get more conversions for their site. Another people might want to just improve upon the campaign as it worked already. Then you have the week by week breakdown. This should be a weekly breakdown in what you're going to do. Obviously, as you go, the first 2 weeks are going to be the longer weeks. The third week is going to be mostly just monitoring, and the last week you are going to be doing debriefing. So basically, first week you're going to be creating a new keyword list and creating your first copies. Second week, you're going to be seeing how the campaign is performing and create new ads. Third week, you are going to be evaluating the campaign and seeing if any changes need to be made. And fourth week, you're going to break down how the campaign worked and debrief the client. And then any other information in the appendix that you might want to share. So this is a really simple, easy way to fill out the pre-campaign form. Any questions about the pre-campaign form or creating ads, copywriting, or anything that we have talked about today?
Can we share our presentation with you after we fill it out?
Absolutely, absolutely. That would be a good idea. I would recommend to share it with me before you upload, but every group is going to have to upload their presentation into the Google Online Marketing Challenge platform anyway, so you're going to be sharing with me. But if you'd like to share it with me before so I can look it through, go through if everything is correct, I would be happy to do that. So yes, you can definitely send it to me even before you're done with that. So basically in a meeting, we will need to ask them to fill in the spaces in the template. No, you're going to be filling in the template. You need to be asking questions that you're going to be using to fill in the template. So what I recommend for most groups, if you haven't had your initial meeting yet, is to go through the template, try to fit it in as much as possible, and then go through what are going to be the things that you need to ask from the client, that you need to get more information on, and then only ask those things in the meeting itself. If there are no other questions, then I'm going to take a quick break and then continue on calling people from 55. The order is going to be this. Let me quickly move Dogan's group from the beginning because they asked me to call them first. So this is going to be the order that I'm going to be calling groups in. If you're at the front of the list, please be ready at the front of the class. In the early minutes of the class. If you're in the last 2 or 3 groups, feel free to take an extended leave overall. Good. So thank you for the attention today. The attendance for today was already taken when it came to the actual Corvinus University tasks. So I'm going to be going through who actually answered for that element overall. This is why I asked you to everyone to comment on that. I'm going to be calling the groups starting in 20 minutes and then seeing you once again in semiotics. So see you around.